How you guys doing? Welcome back to Vapor Sports. We got our weekly recap here and our Week 6 predictions as well. Um, Before we get started, NBA Finals wrapped up on Sunday, so we'll be making a collective video sometime this week. We'll be talking about those Lakers and a lot of interesting stats that I found after they actually won the championship, but we'll be talking about. So that'll be coming to you guys pretty soon. Once again, another pretty entertaining week of football. I've said that in every video, but I guess that just shows how much I like football. Also, I forgot to mention, but what do you say to doing like a Alabama Georgia video
Yeah, that'd
prediction
be
and
cool to
reaction?
do.
Yeah,
It'll
cause
be
I'm
a pretty good game, I think.
yeah I'm a big time Alabama fan. I'm not really too confident right now in Alabama's defense at all whatsoever. But their offense is looking pretty damn good, and I think Mac Jones is definitely a Heisman dark horse, besides like Trevor Lawrence and the obvious ones. But anyways, let's talk NFL. So a lot of schedule changes happening. The Broncos were going to play the Patriots on Sunday, then it was Monday, and then they moved it to next week, and the Broncos had their bye week this week along with the Patriots. So they'll be playing the Patriots this week actually. Yeah. Chiefs lost. We'll be talking about that one. I don't know what the bets were for them to go 16-0, but I'm sure there was a decent amount of money on that. But it is pretty hard to go 16-0. Yeah, I mean the AFC North the AFC North is looking pretty good. They have three really solid teams in there right now. Three probably playoff teams by the looks of it. 49ers got fucked by the Dolphins and Fitzmagic. So yeah. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start with talking about the Chiefs. I watched the fourth quarter because I was out. I think I was at the mall, and I remember I checked on the game right before I left, and it was like during the first quarter, Chiefs were up. I was like, yeah, Chiefs have a handle on it. And then in the second quarter, I was in Dick's Sporting Goods, and they had the game on. I'm like, oh, it's 24-21. All right, it's a close game. You can't ask for much more than that. And then I come home and watch the fourth quarter, and I'm like, holy shit, bro. But yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs did go 16-0, but it's so hard because with football, it's such a human sport. Because like all it takes is your kicker to have a bad day, and your team's screwed or something like that. There's human error that people don't really think about. So yeah, and Patrick Mahomes is getting rushed quite a bit. So they need to they have a great offensive line. I don't know if it's the scheming or the coaching, but they need to bring the number down of on the times he's getting pressured. And then Kansas City's defense, especially the pass coverage, looked a little soft. They kind of let Derek Carr just gush them. I mean, Henry Ruggs only had 2 catches, but it was 2 massive catches. So
Yeah, Henry Ruggs had that set one like deep bomb from Carr, 72-yarder. He also, I believe, or sorry, Nelson Aguilar also had that one really deep play. So
yeah.
kind of those big plays that the Chiefs let up on, kind of put them in position to lose at the very end.
Yeah, and honestly, that was the kind of game that if the Broncos weren't so injured, that was the kind of game that I thought the Broncos might have against the Chiefs on one of the games. But yeah, I definitely thought it. I think a divisional opponent could get a win against them going forward, and I definitely knew that if the Chiefs are going to have 3 losses, I think like 2 of them are going to be against divisional opponents, and one of them already is. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this looks for the Raiders going forward. Definitely. I mean, anytime you beat the Chiefs, the Super Bowl favorite, you have to feel pretty good. So, yeah, good to see the Chiefs lose, though.
hmm
Anything you want to add?
I mean, the only thing I remember from that game was that crazy pass that Mahomes had. He kind of threw it over his shoulder to the middle. Um, but yeah, other than that, I mean, it was a good game by the Raiders.
All right, and then I think we're gonna talk about the Eagles and Steelers. Not
Yep.
necessarily the game, but I definitely want to talk about the Steelers. They scored how many points?
38-29. Chase Claypool had 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the first time that's happened since like this, what, like for the Steelers, like a player had 4 touchdowns. That wasn't the quarterback. It's been a long time. And first 4-0 start since I think 72. So really feel good for the Steelers. Ravens, beware, because the Steelers are looking really, really good. Their offense is coming together. We already knew their defense was pretty good. I don't know. You watched the game and I didn't. I don't know what happened with their defense
Yeah.
because 29 points is it's a lot for someone who's supposed to have like a top 3 defense. But yeah, I mean Steelers are looking bright. They're on the right. They're going the right way for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for the Steelers, I mean, their defense was not terrible. They were able to get a few stops on the last 2 possessions. I think they had that one Miles Sanders run for a few yards. That was a long run that they let up for a touchdown. They were able to come up with 2 late stops. That other one was, I believe, Carson Wentz got intercepted. They ended up sacking Wentz 5 times. So their defense was able to step up at the end. The other play I was
Yeah.
going to say is that I really liked Nelson Fulgham, and I didn't even know who he was on the Eagles until I saw him making all his catches. But he had some really good catches throughout the game and was their leading receiver. So
Yeah. I've said this since kind of the beginning of the year, but I think there's probably like 2 or 3 teams that down the stretch in like the playoffs or in a Super Bowl would have a shot at beating the Chiefs. Regular season is different, obviously, but I think that Steelers are one of those teams. I thought the Ravens were one of those teams. It's not. It's maybe not looking like that, but you never know. It's early in the year, and it's a little too early to make assumptions. But if I had to bet money on who had the best chance of beating the Chiefs in the playoffs, I would definitely go with the Steelers. And the good news is you're just building on top of that defense. You have Big Ben back, and he's looking better than ever. And you have a younger group of players, and it's looking really good there in Pittsburgh.
yeah,
All right, and then let's talk about the Monday night game. Steelers and the Chargers.
Saints and Chargers.
Oh, Saints and Chargers. Sorry. Anyways, I went the Chargers on this one, and it was looking really good for me about the entire game. But yeah, it came down to overtime, and the Saints pulled out a stop and got a field goal. So yeah, I still am a firm believer that the Saints are a very mediocre team, and I'm still a firm I still have all the respect in the world for Drew Brees, but I do think that a lot of the talent on the offense is going to waste a little bit with how little Drew Brees goes down the field. And I know people say that he doesn't need to and stuff, and it works. And it works until you get to the playoffs, until you get to the point where those big plays are the only thing separating you. So in the regular season, the Saints' style on offensively you could win the division or get a wild card spot every single year. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's too big of a stage to just go with those little crossing routes and slants all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Justin Herbert looked really well.
He
Had
really did,
4
yeah.
touchdown passes. 2 of them were to Mike Williams. I think really the Chargers did end up. They kind of lost this game themselves, if you kind of think about it. They had that one interception that kind of late in the game that took them to overtime, and that Badgley's field goal try, which bounced off the upright.
Yeah, and it was
I
like
mean,
the
that's
inside
just
of that upright too. It
Yeah,
was
it's
like
just
so
unfortunate.
close. The only thing that would have been funnier if it was a double doink.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
I mean, give credit to the Saints for fighting back. Again, they were down 23, so
yeah, and I think
Yeah.
the Chargers are probably the best 1-4 team in the league right now. I honestly think the Chargers, talent-wise, are a much better team than a 1-4 team. Anyways, all right, let's move on. We're making good time. Let's go to the power rankings, shall we? Let me pull these up again. We're gonna try and run through these as well. So I'll get started. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so we got the New York Jets at 32, They lost another game. I didn't watch it, but I'm assuming it was quite ugly as usual. So they're at 32.
Yep. Above them is the Giants once again, 0-5. Again, without Saquon, lost to the Cowboys. They did have a chance though, but yeah, no, it's not looking great.
All right, 0-5 for the Falcons. They just fired their coach and their GM. I think with all that talent, they could be good next year, but it's going to be hard to come back from an 0-5 start and do much of anything this year.
Yep. And 29, Jaguars actually move up one spot, but their defense has not been that reliable. They've been giving up 30-plus points in 4 straight games, so that's not great.
All right. We had the Broncos at 28. They didn't move. They didn't play anyone, so that makes sense.
All right. At 27, we have the Washington football team. Actually, Alex Smith again. He returned.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You know, didn't look terrible, but more just the Rams were able to kind of let off on that game. So congrats to him for returning.
He's back.
But yep,
That's all that matters.
that's all that matters. Yep.
We got the Bengals. They moved up a spot. They lost to the Ravens by a pretty good margin. Obviously, the Ravens are still a good team, but yeah, I mean Cincinnati. They're obviously gonna be better than last year, but I think this is kind of like you just got to take these as some big practices for your own players.
All right. At 25, the Detroit Lions. I don't believe they played this week. They had lost to the Saints the week before. They stay at 25.
Yep. All right, Texans. They're 1-4. They actually won, I believe, this week. They went down a spot, but yeah, I think getting a win after your coach is fired is honestly kind of a common thing because you want to show that you guys, it's not all about the coach. So yeah, I mean, not too high hopes for the Texans, but I'm glad they got that win.
Yep. All right, 23. The Dolphins actually ended up beating the 49ers. It was a pretty blowout game, 43-17. So they move up a spot, and they are now 2-3.
Yep. All right, so now we got the Eagles at 22. They moved down 2 spots, lost to the Steelers. Obviously, they scored quite a few points on a really good defense, but yeah.
All right, 21. Minnesota Vikings, really close game against the Seahawks. Unfortunately, weren't able to pull it out. They stay at 21 and are 1-4. They didn't really protect Kirk Cousins well at all. And really just a lot of turnovers were able to decide that game between that Seahawks nail biter.
Right. And they actually shut out the Seahawks in the first half. And I just want to add, I saw this stat. Yep. The Sunday night game between the Vikings and the Seahawks got like 14.6 concurrent viewers, and the finals got like 5 point something million viewers, which people talk about how like football's on the downturn and stuff, but I don't know, man. If you can get more views in a regular season game than like the last game of a championship, then I'd feel pretty good. All right, so we got the Chargers. They moved down a spot. They almost beat
the Saints.
The Saints. Boy, brain fart there. Yeah, like I said, I already said this. I think they're a much better team than a 1-4 team. But yeah, their turnovers are not looking good for them.
All right, 19. Carolina Panthers, 3-2. They moved up 3 spots from week 5. They were able to beat the Falcons this week. Yeah, they look good. They definitely have a running game going with Mike Davis, so just need to shore up that defense, and who knows.
Got the Cowboys at 2-3. First off, I do want to say prayers out to Dak. That looks like a nasty injury, and it's so unfortunate that the day Alex Smith comes back, there's another just terrible injury. So not a Cowboys fan by any means. I think they'll still be okay this year because Andy Dalton is a good quarterback in my eyes. But yeah, just hope Dak gets better, and I hope he gets a decent contract with whoever he plays for next year.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, 49ers at 17. They moved down 4 spots. Again, they lost to the Dolphins this week. really for them, they need to protect their quarterback, and their offensive line hasn't been doing the job. They've yielded 18 sacks, which is fourth most in the NFL right now. So yeah, they moved down 4.
Yep. Now we got the Cardinals at 3-2. They're at 16 actually. Um, they're having some problems with some interceptions and some of those wins. The win against the 49ers is not looking quite as impressive as we had originally thought at the beginning of the year. And their losses are looking pretty bad right now. So we'll see where they go from here.
Yep. All right. 15 Las Vegas Raiders. Again, they were able to make the Chiefs go not unbeaten anymore. They move up 2 spots to 15.
Yep. All right, so we got the Colts moving down a few spots. They lost to the Browns. I was really pulling for I really thought the Colts could beat the Browns in this game. I know you picked the Browns. I still really
Yeah.
like the Colts defense, but Philip Rivers is just being classic Philip Rivers. So until they either figure that out or get a different quarterback, I think that's going to continue to be the norm there.
Yep. All right. It's 13 Chicago Bears are 4-1. They beat the Bucks and Tom Brady. Nick Foles, 2-0 against Tom Brady now, I believe. So congrats to him for doing that. And yeah, they're looking like a 4-1 team. So I think a lot of people were surprised that they were this high, but yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to compete with the Packers, but it looks like they're going for it. We got the Buccaneers moving down a spot, still one above the Bears. But yeah, they're definitely they obviously have talent. I mean, we knew that from the beginning, even before Tom Brady went there. But and they're coming together as a team. I mean, between the beginning of the year and now, they've already looked a lot better. But I think there's still a lot of work to be done there.
Yeah, the thing they need to work on is their mistakes, as you could see in that Tom Brady kind of mishap where he thought it was third down and
Yeah.
not fourth. So eh, unfortunately, that's how sport works. All right, 11 New England Patriots. Again, they moved down 1 spot. They are 2-2.
They
I
didn't
mean,
even
again,
play.
they didn't play, but the week before they lost to the Chiefs. So
Yep. Well, when you're 2 losses to the Chiefs and the Seahawks, you can't feel too bad about that. Browns are moving up
yeah,
4 spots after they beat the Colts. That's a very impressive win, and I mean, you got to be eyeing that wild card spot with Pittsburgh and the Ravens above you. But I would feel confident in that wild card spot right now.
yep. All right, it's number 9. The Saints stay where they are at number 9. I mean, again, they were able to come back on the Chargers, but didn't look too impressive doing it.
Yep. We got the Titans. They moved down 2 spots. Well, they haven't even played this week technically, but with all the moving around of teams, you can't keep them in the same spot. So nothing to add there. They don't play till tonight. So
Yep. All right, number 7, the Los Angeles Rams move up 1 spot. They are 4-1 as well. Again, they were able to beat the Washington football team pretty easily on Sunday. So yeah,
yep. We got the Steelers. They move up a spot. They're undefeated. They beat the Eagles. Pretty good. I mean, yeah, I'd feel pretty solid about the Steelers right now. I think they're a good contender to be the division champions there.
all right. Number 5, we have the Bills. They're still unbeaten. They do play tonight against the Titans. Not really much to say. Just really watching for an entertaining game tonight. So.
Yes, definitely. We got the Baltimore Ravens at number 4 still. I think the Ravens, yeah, they got that talent, and I think they're still a very similar team to last year, but their defense isn't looking quite as good as originally anticipated.
All right, number 3, we have the Chiefs. They moved down from number 1. Again, they really, their defense kind of let them up at the end of the game against the Raiders. So, fortunately, they're not unbeaten anymore.
Yep. We got the Packers at number 2. I really like the Packers so far. When you make Aaron Rodgers angry, and I don't know if you watch the Pat McAfee show, but he's been on there, and he's been a little passive aggressive. I mean, I really like Aaron Rodgers, and I think him and both both him and Russell Wilson are kind of competing for that MVP spot and also kind of that that respect,
Yep. All right, and finally at number 1 we have the Seattle Seahawks. They're 5-0. Again, the impressive victory against the Vikings. I don't know if you saw Pete Carroll's locker room speech, but that was really motivational. And yeah, they are the number 1 team in the NFL right now, according to ESPN.
Yeah, I like that spot as of right now. We'll see. Usually you have to have a much better defense than Seattle has to make a deep playoff run, but there's plenty of time to make the defense better. All right, so those were our power rankings. Let's not mess around or anything. Let's get right into our predictions here. We got the Chiefs and the Bills. I think this is going to be another very entertaining game, but I'm going to go with the Bills. I think the Bills' defense will do enough, and I think Josh Allen will do enough, and I think they'll win in a very close one. I think it'll be both teams scoring in the 30s, maybe high 20s, but I'm going to go with the Bills in a very close one, maybe last-second field goal.
Yeah, man, this is such a tough game, but coming off the Chiefs game against the Raiders, and I think the Bills, yeah, they're playing the Titans tonight, so I'm gonna say the Bills for this one, just because I think they're playing a little better.
All right, and then we got the Texans and the Titans. I'm gonna go the Titans here. Not too hard of a pick. I think the Titans are they're just a little more founded right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Titans as well. Playing a little better as far as record.
Yep. Next we got the Ravens and the Eagles. I think the Ravens will win soundly once again by probably double digits. I don't think it'll be like a 20-point blowout by any means, but I'm gonna stick with the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens as well. The Steelers are just being the Eagles, so AFC North partners. Going with the Ravens.
Cool. All right, we got Falcons and Vikings. I'm gonna go Vikings. I mean, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised once again if the Falcons won this because, like the Titans, they're gonna be their first game with their new interim head coach, and I do think teams do really play out when they have that new interim head coach and they want to show them that they want to play for him. However, I'm gonna stick with the Vikings. I think it's a safer pick, but I wouldn't be too surprised if the Falcons win this one.
Yeah, I think the Falcons might have some motivation, as you said, with their interim coach, but I will go safe with the Vikings.
Next, we got Browns at Steelers. I think this is going to be a really entertaining game, but I think the Steelers' defense will pull off just a few more stops than the Browns' defense will, so I'm going to go Steelers.
Yeah, I think this matchup is really interesting because I think they might split games, like whether depending on home or away, but I think the Steelers will come out with this one.
Right. We got Bengals at Colts. I'm going to go Colts just because of the defense on this one. Because the Bengals, especially their offensive line, hasn't looked too good. But I think it'll be close. I think it'll be a very close game. But I think if Phillip Rivers can throw under 2 interceptions, they'll be just fine.
Yeah, I got the Colts as well. Just going safe.
All right. We got Lions at Jaguars here. I think this is going to be another ugly. I think this is another one of those tank bowls. I'm going to go Jaguars here.
Yeah, just going Jaguars. The Lions really haven't been playing too great, so yeah.
All right, we got our first disagreement of the week. We got the Bears at the Panthers. I think that the Panthers will win this one. I think that Teddy Bridgewater will play quite well. I won't be surprised if I lose this one and you win, but I think the Panthers are. I think they're heating up.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Again, I think might happen, but I'm going with Nick Foles and the Bears.
Yeah, fair enough. We got Washington at the Giants. I don't know who the hell's going to start for Washington, but if it's Alex Smith, I'm going to pick Washington. So I'm going to go Washington.
If it was
here.
Dwayne Haskins, I'd probably still pick Washington, but yeah, going with the Washington football team.
Nice. We got the Jets at the Chargers. I think Justin Herbert will have a field day against the Jets. I'm going to go Chargers by big numbers here.
Yeah, I got Chargers as well. I don't think the Jets. I don't think this is going to be a close game unless the Chargers somehow uh, do something like they did against the Saints.
Right, and the Jets aren't the Saints. We got Broncos at Patriots.
Yep.
I think I think both the. I think it's weird because the Broncos are gonna have Drew Lock back, but the Patriots are gonna have Cam Newton back. So I think it's gonna be a much more entertaining game. But I'm going to stick with the Patriots. I still think it's gonna be closer. I think the over under was like 11.5 points. I think it's gonna be closer than that. But I'm gonna go the Patriots. It's the safer pick for sure.
Yeah, just going safe with the Pats as well. If they have Cam Newton back and available, I think he might, be able to get them a win.
Cool. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's still unfortunate that Von Miller isn't playing and they can have a little father-son reunion. But we got the Packers at the Buccaneers. Boy, I really like the Packers so far. I think the Packers are real like Super Bowl contenders this year, and I think the Bucks are still coming together. So I'm gonna go Packers here.
Yeah, A-Rod versus Brady. It's a really great matchup, but I think right now the Packers are playing a little bit better, so go Pack.
All right, and then we got the Rams at the 49ers. 49ers are on the downturn right now, and I know historically the team that loses the Super Bowl doesn't do too well the next year, but this is way worse than we could have really anticipated. I'm gonna go Rams. If the Niners pull out a win, I wouldn't be too surprised, but still sticking with the Rams on this one.
Yeah, just considering the Miami game, I think the Rams have been playing a bit better, so I'm gonna go with the Rams as well.
All right, and then we got Cardinals at Cowboys. I think the Cowboys still could play good football this year with Andy Dalton, but in his first start, sheesh, I don't know if I want to stick with this pick. I kind of want to take the Cowboys for whatever reason. Why don't you do your pick
I'm going
first?
with the Cardinals, by the way.
You're going with
Well,
the
yeah, I'm
Cardinals?
going with the Cardinals. I don't really know. I think it's a good question. I don't know how good Andy Dalton's going to be in his first start. Again, he's been proven with the Bengals somewhat, but yeah, without Dak, it'll be maybe a challenge. But
Yeah, I originally
Andy
chose the
Dalton,
Cardinals, but I'm gonna go with the Cowboys on this one. I think they're gonna play their fucking hearts out for Dak this weekend. And
yeah, I
I
wouldn't
think
be surprised if I'm wrong.
so. Yeah, we got two disagreements here. So I believe you are up 2 games on me right now. I think we would be tied
Looks
if the goddamn Chargers kicker could make a field goal, but it is what it is. Anyways, yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend for sure. No Thursday night game, I think, from what I saw, which I don't know why that is. I'm assuming it's just because of all the schedule changes and whatnot. But we got another Monday night doubleheader this week, and Chiefs are one of those, so it's going to be fun this weekend. The Broncos, when they play the Patriots, it would have been 18 days since they played a football game. So, yeah. Cool. So, anything else to add before we head out of here?
Just make sure to check out some of my videos for the NBA Finals. I have
Yeah.
most of them uploaded, I believe. I hope to do more of those just because maybe to NFL games and stuff because I actually really find that cool. However, it's hard to stay or pay attention to the game as well as
Yeah.
talk about what I want to talk about. But yeah, those are cool. So check those out.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll talk about the finals.
We could even maybe play together.
Yeah, that'd be great, honestly. I think
Yeah.
talking about we'll get some extra videos out this week. I know we've been kind of doing the bare minimum lately, but I think we'll get a finals game out. We'll talk about some college football for the first time, which I'm really excited for. College football has been pretty entertaining, especially last weekend with all the SEC upsets and whatnot. So that was
Yep.
college football has been really fun lately. So yeah, and then we'll have our recaps. Might talk some Broncos, might talk some Steelers. But in the meantime, before those videos come out, we will see you guys in the next one.
See you.